Well, this is professional, isn't it? I'm stuck in a square in the middle of my TV screen. Uh, doesn't seem like this is going to go very well, but we will wait and see. So today we're going to be talking about Mr. Beast. Seems to be in a little bit of hot water recently. Bit like when you get in the bath. Okay, this is just going horrible. But yeah, I haven't really done too much research, as you can tell by the channel name, but I want to talk about Mr. Beast because there's a lot of controversy around whether what he has done in terms of faking videos is something that should be shamed upon or something which people think is okay for entertainment, depends on your views, right? And then there's the whole other aspect of the fact that he has been mistreating his employees, blah, 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 blah. So I thought today what we would do is we'd sit down and we'd go through it as if we have never found out about this problem before. It's new news to us. I kind of like, I've thought about this idea for some time now and thought about making a so called Let's Find Out series where we almost kind of investigate ourselves, like together, about what's going on. Maybe watch a few videos and kind of think about it on the spot of what's happening and then kind of make some decisions on the spot, on the go, and come to some conclusions. I thought this was a cool way to try and analyze situation without like any prior bias. Of course, I've seen it all over YouTube and all over Twitter and everywhere else. But point I'm trying to make is I haven't looked into it too much because I thought I'd make a video where we do exactly that. So that is exactly what we're going to do today. Now, as you can tell, just before I start, um, this is going to be a bit of a strange one because I'm a little square on my screen, and I don't know if I'm going to do this like kind of style going forward where you just see a square, but I don't actually know. I know I've not prepared about Mr. Beast, but I've also not prepared of how I'm going to show you my screen. So yeah, before we get started, I'm going to have to show you my desktop and try and figure that out. So just give me a second. It might cut whilst I figure this out. I hope so. Hopefully you can see Microsoft Edge. If not, then this is going to be an absolute disaster. Um, so before we get started, I want to say that essentially I asked someone to collate a bunch of information for me, but don't tell me in advance. So essentially say, send me some documents, send me some news articles, and I want to go through them. Now, I've not actually seen them yet, so it's going to be quite interesting to read. So we'll start off with this one: accusations of professional handling and mistreatment of contestants on Beast Games comes to light. Okay, I've not heard of Beast games so far, but then again, I've not uh, watched Mr. Beast too much. Jim Donaldson, known to YouTube fans as Mr. Beast, is launching his biggest project yet with the game show Beast Games. Wow, so it's a kind of like Netflix series style uh, program, I suppose. The show, produced in collaboration with Amazon Studios, will debut exclusively on Prime Video. When was this? When was this published? Wow, August the 5th. Today is August the 6th. So I always find it strange how these type of massive sagas always come into the limelight. Of course, we're going to go through the allegations against Mr. Beast, but it always comes into the limelight, it seems, when something big is happening. What I mean by that is, for example, there's always these like Amazon style documentaries about these football teams, and there's always some like massive controversy with these football teams when the Amazon documentaries are coming out. I don't know if it's like by coincidence where people are like investigating more or something and they're kind of more in the limelight, but it does seem like a frequent trend where um, people are about to make some like huge step, like a, you get what I'm trying to say. He's obviously in the limelight, and yeah, not to say, of course, that these things, wouldn't have ever come out, but it definitely obviously pushes them because more people are investigating. If that makes any sense, I feel like I'm waffling at this point. So anyway, while Donaldson is known for tackling major projects, Beast Games represents a new level of ambition. The show will feature 1,000 contestants competing for a record-breaking $5 million prize, making it the largest game show and prize in history, according to Amazon Studios. Wow. Okay, so it is going to be with Amazon, not Netflix. However, as previously reported by Desperate News, Beast Games has faced accusations of mismanagement. Contestants have claimed that set conditions were subpar, resulting in food and water shortages and some injuries. Crazy. I, it's, what I was going to say before is, of course, we're going to get onto it, but allegations, of course, of faking videos, things like this. Of course, other YouTubers previously in the UK, of course, we had Morgs as a prime example, someone who was accused of faking videos. It's it's a difficult subject, I think, from a neutral perspective, because you've got one hand where some people are trying to make YouTube like TV, although it should never become it. Um, they're trying to kind of create like an entertainment purpose where YouTube is put in a way where you do things in order to create entertainment. So some people would argue, of course, that Mr. Beast faking his videos is potentially and most likely misleading if he's not making it clear he's faking his videos. But at the same time, some people might argue that, well, it's meant to be entertaining, and if he didn't fake his videos, people wouldn't watch because it wouldn't be as entertaining, blah blah blah. We'll get onto it. Point I'm trying to make is that aside, that can be contested. But when it comes to, of course, the treatment of his employees, or in this case, contestants have claimed that set conditions were subpar, resulting in food and water shortages and some injuries. Certainly, I'm not a lawyer, but this sounds like, obviously, given how big Mr. Beast is now, a legal problem potentially. Now, it says here, of course, new accusations come to light. A recent New York Times report provides additional details on the situation from anonymous contestants due to non-disclosure agreements, sharing their experiences on the game show. If any of you don't know what an NDA is, as it's known, or a non-disclosure agreement, essentially it's just like a legal document to say, hey, you can't say anything about this subject, and everything is confidential. It's meant to be used to protect people and like companies from, like they are working on some new science project. It's supposed to protect the company from not losing ground when it comes to their progress, and like not stopping employees just running away. But of course, in this particular case, it's being used to try and what seems to be like silencing the people working for Mr. Beast. Per the New York Times, during the onboarding process, contestants stated that they were asked how far they would go for a chance to win $5 million, including potentially life-threatening tasks. While some viewed this as a deterrent, others saw it as an exciting opportunity for adventure and potential wealth. However, for many contestants, they found it was a poor set conditions rather than the challenge themselves that proved to be the main difficulty. We signed up for the show, but we didn't sign up for not being fed or watered or treated like human beings, one contestant told the New York Times. Initially, contestants were told that there would be 1,000 participants, but they were surprised to find 2,000. I don't know why I'm getting this adverts. Aren't adverts supposed to be based on like your previous search history? I promise you. I don't know why this is up. Moving on. Obviously, there's 2,000 contestants Donald had sent in a video to participants reviewed by the New York Times. I don't remember if I said that publicly or not, but there is. The starting number of contestants would be whittled until there were 1,000 left, and who would go on to participate in the actual show. A spokesman for Mr. Beast told the New York Times. Okay. Again, I mean, we'll come back to this point, but if obviously people are complaining about that there shouldn't be more contestants, I suppose we don't. Again, I have not done too much research so far, so we don't know, of course, if the 1,000 left meant that it was like overcrowded or something. I'm trying to like read between the lines, or whether like that kind of suggested to the contestants that they had more chance of winning when they didn't. We'll find out about this later. Contestants reported that staff members assigned to assist with issues surrounding food, hygiene, and medical care were disorganized and unhelpful. Okay, that's not good, of course. Accounts included contestants not receiving adequate food, not receiving necessary medication. Okay, this is obviously becoming more serious now. Like this one thing isn't there, like, you go to like some show, for example, I don't know, festival, a show, wherever you want to go, and you get there and you're expecting some tasty steak, and it turns out they're serving you burgers that are cooked in oil. That's different, right? You're just going somewhere and you're expecting like good service, but you don't get as good service. In this case, it's not obviously like that. It's not like it seems like they're not just receiving food that doesn't taste great. They're receiving food maybe that's not enough. And of course, not receiving insulin is, to put it quite frank, absolutely horrific. Individuals with dietary restrictions also reported not having their needs met. Now, of course, when you're becoming such like a big YouTuber or a big creator or a big influencer, whatever you want to call these people that have a lot of panache. Oh, how say panache is not the right word, but a lot of say where people will follow what you're doing. Of course, it's absolutely horrific. That you do this. The point I'm trying to make, and I'm waffling now, but the point I'm trying to make, is when you get to a certain level as an influencer, you have like a kind of responsibility, So Mr. Beast, of course, you look across his videos, he's got 1, 2, 300 million sometimes views on his videos. So his influence is astounding. You think about it, a YouTuber gets like 100k views. Someone might say that they're a reasonably successful YouTuber or influencer. So he's getting 100, 200 million views a video. So if he wants to create this like Beast Games or like the Beast brand, I suppose it is now, he has obviously a responsibility to treat people almost as if you are an organization, as a employer, basically an employer. So of course, the people come forward and saying that they were treated horribly and things like this, they weren't having enough food, they weren't given insulin. It sounds, well, negligent, to put it quite nicely. Per the Hollywood Reporter, in a statement addressing the allegations, a spokesman for Mr. Beast said that the preliminary event for Beast Games had been complicated due to the CrowdStrike incident, extreme weather, and other unexpected logistical and communication issues. Is he talking about when Microsoft went down? I don't know. Is that what he's talking about? Okay. The statement continued by saying they were in the process of reviewing feedback provided by 97% of participants in order to ensure that they learn from this experience. I mean, if they truly did get the complaints aside, the fact that they managed to get 97% of the participants to respond is just astounding to me anyway. I mean, always these surveys, like, hardly anyone responds. Most of the contestants who qualified in the preliminaries planned on continuing into the second round, although one contestant revealed to New York Times she is concerned for her safety. Okay, it's just a bit odd, isn't it? I mean, now I read this bit. Most of the contestants who qualified in the preliminaries plan to continue into the second round. Doesn't make any sense. Didn't they just say above here that they weren't given any medication, didn't have enough food, no insulin? Most of the contestants who qualified in preliminaries plan to continue to the second round. Okay. Bit strange, sure. I assume it's because the money on the line and not because of the treatment, right? Because people have literally said that they're not getting enough insulin. Furthermore, photos of a group chat provided to New York Times showed some of the contestants were unbothered by the poor conditions reported by the others. Okay, so you write an entire news article about how they were mistreated, and you leave it until the last line to say that some people actually were unbothered. Okay. All a bit odd. Right. So, seems he's going to have a new show, but of course, we get to today. We need to look into now these allegations, as I said, of where not only Mr. Beast was supposedly treating his employees badly, but apparently he's gone as far as to do many other things. I mean, I literally saw on Twitter earlier that someone had said he was deleting, it just popped up on my timeline that he was deleting comments from his videos. I mean, do you... Obviously, oh Jesus! If you go to his latest video, yeah, I mean, look, he's got 3.8 million views. I mean, what are his normal? Sorry, 3.8 million likes. What are his normal likes? Okay, so 95 million views here. Okay, so he's got 8 million likes on this video. It seems like some people have disliked his other videos as well. Let's go down. 260 million views, 5 million likes. Okay, so it's like 1 in 50 liked it. So going by that case, his latest video, it should be like 1. Okay, I mean, a lot of people. I saw something on Twitter that said he had 2 million dislikes or something crazy. But anyway, if you're looking at the comments, I mean, given that he has been like all over the news, it does, it does seem that he is overwhelmingly, um, the comments are overwhelmingly positive, right? I mean, talking about some Hugo guy here, we don't see any kind of, okay, uh, sure, kind of negative, but we don't see any comments about, hey, you treat your employees badly, or um, you've got this whole like Chris Tyson situation that's coming up on the Ava Tyson, whatever her name is, coming up on Twitter every hour or so. That's another horrific situation. I don't think we're going to be able to go through all of this. But the point I'm trying to make is, look, we're going through these messages live, right? And we can't find anything that's negative. I mean, Hugo literally, yeah, okay, it's just everyone is just talking about this Hugo guy, but it's astonishing that, isn't it? Just astonishing that there is no negative messages. Okay, here someone says, stop deleting comments, ha ha ha. Mr. Lies, okay, but think about how, look how far we've scrolled down to even see a negative comment. Okay. It seems like there are not many at all that are negative. Um, delete this. Okay, I won't repeat that. But the point I'm trying to make, right, is it's clear that the comments are being deleted. Choose by filter. I mean, contain profanity. Can I? Okay, that's it. Okay, I don't know why I just clicked that. Can you search by phrases? Okay, so let's search employees. I think that is concrete proof. Concrete proof that he's deleting his comments. Because this is filtering all of the comments where he's mentioned the word someone has mentioned the word employees. And look, it's searching and searching and searching. And it's not finding any comments that where people are mentioning the treatment of employees. Absolutely astonishing. That is practical proof. You can see here, right? It's searching, it's searching, it's searching. Now 600 comments is searched, and no comments about employees. Well, we're going to stop this because it's hurting my eyes, but you get what I'm trying to say. Astonishing, right? Well, that's proof. Mr. Beast is deleting his comments. Okay, so moving on to obviously what Mr. Beast is being accused of on a more lower level, because we don't want this video to be hours and hours long, right? I just want to like go over it and talk about, of course, what he's done. If there surely is a video. I mean, there must be a video that is not really, really long. I guess the easiest way we can make up our minds um, without watching too many videos is let's have a look at some news articles. Okay, so the Mirror US. Mr. Beast hit with millions of dislikes after Ava Chris Tyson grooming allegations. Mr. Beast has promised to carry out an internal investigation after his YouTube co-host. Okay, what's going on here? Ava Tyson was accused of grooming a minor, but fans are still unhappy. Mr. Beast has received millions of dislikes, okay, as we spoke about earlier, on his latest YouTube video following the Ava Chris Tyson grooming allegations, according to online data. The YouTube star, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, vowed to launch an investigation, and Tyson was accused of allegedly spending years communicating with a fan on public online forums before meeting in person. Okay, that's just weird. That is just weird. So you're telling me that he's Ava Tyson, Chris Tyson. I don't know which one, but let's just say Ava Tyson spoke to a fan like before. I mean, 16 is illegal in the US anyway, right? Um, but like spoke to them before they turned 16 and then met them after. Is this like some kind of planned? Both Tyson and the alleged victim deny the allegations. Okay, but then again, the victim probably will deny it because they probably already suffered enough. While Mr. Beast said he does not condone the inappropriate actions and Tyson stepped back from the channel, viewers are still unhappy. Fans have made the fiends known in Mr. Beast's latest video where he challenges two people to survive 100 days in a nuclear bunker to win $500,000. The video has been hit with millions of dislikes amid the grooming allegations. The post, okay, I think maybe people probably asking questions like, how did Mr. Beast not know about this? But then again, sometimes people can do things and you don't know that they're doing them, if that makes any sense. Like, you could have a best friend who's doing something really dodgy and you just don't know until it's too late. The thing is I thought this group were really close, so I know there's been like several times where people have asked for Ava Tyson for whatever reason to be kicked out of Mr. Beast, and some people were saying like he didn't kick out Ava Tyson because he was afraid of like legal repercussions or things like that for certain reasons, maybe some lawsuits or something. But if he obviously knew about this, then it obviously is totally unacceptable, and he should have got rid of Ava Tyson if he had any evidence that this was going on. After serious allegations against Tyson surfaced earlier this month, Mr. Beast shared a post on X saying, "Over the last few days, I've become aware of serious allegations, and I'm disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts." Of course, he's talking about Ava Tyson. "During that time, I've been focusing on hiring an independent third party to conduct." This just sounds like, I don't know. Does this just sound like too like legally PR written to you? I mean, if this is just a bit odd, you know. If why don't you just come on Twitter or X or whatever and say, "Hey, I didn't know about this before it came out. I've now just found out and I got rid of him, her, him. Okay, I got rid of Ava Tyson." Why can't you just say that? Why do you have to come out with some PR nonsense that looks like it's written by a lawyer? Because this for me screams, again, slightly guilty. It's like, okay, you know what? I've just found out, or I kind of knew, but everyone's now getting angry at me, and because they're getting angry at me, I've hired an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation. What is this nonsense? Do you see what I mean when I'm talking about like legal repercussions? He's afraid of getting sued or something. Why would you hire an independent third party to carry investigations out about this problem? Could you not just like say to them, "Hey, can you set like, can I have a look at your phone or something?" Or, "Hey, we're your employer. Can we, I don't know, you're allowed to do this?" But are they not able to just find out themselves without hiring a third party? This seems absolutely crazy to me. I mean, this does kind of feel like he's basically saying, "Look, we were afraid of legal repercussions and we hired someone to investigate, and now we've investigated and found out everyone's angry. We've got rid of him, them, blah blah blah." I don't know. Seems a bit sus to me. Tyson has been accused of sending inappropriate photos to a fan. One Snapchat conversation allegedly sent from Tyson to messaging editor showed a picture of her face with the text. I'm not even going to repeat it. Was this to that 16-year-old? I mean, Tyson was accused by user Prism42 on TikTok of grooming and sending messages to Lava when he was 13 and she was 20 years old. That is disgusting. The allegations have since refuted by the alleged victim. Tyson released a statement in light of the Luke grooming allegations. "I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior. If it hurt or offended anyone, it was not my intent," she said on X. But, you literally sent messages to a 13-year-old and it wasn't your intent to harm or offend anyone? Maybe it's because that person was so young, you just thought, well, you're going to get away with it because you're absolutely sick by the sound. I mean, that is horrid. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best to, okay, all this legal PR again by Mr. Beast. "These videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. I even never did." Oh, what? Let me go back because this is looking a bit strange. Seeing Tyson released a statement in light of the grooming allegations. I would like to apologize for any of my of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. Is that are you seriously deflecting blame? If it hurt or offended anyone. Do you notice the wording here? If it hurt or offended anyone. It's kind of like, do you know what this kind of feels like? Do you know when you invite your friends out to say you don't invite, you know when your friends go out to an event and you ask if you can go to the party and they say you can come if you want? It's not really an invite, is it? It's kind of like, yeah, come if you must, but I don't really want you to be there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of like a half shitty invite, you know? In this case, it feels like a really half-assed kind of apology. It's like saying, oh, I'm sorry if it hurt anyone. I mean, I don't think it did hurt anyone, but if it did, I'm sorry about it. Sorry if it offended anyone. Wasn't my intent. I mean, what a load of nonsense. Seeing recent weeks, we've recently decided it's best I permit myself away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. After a viral clip accusing Ava of grooming Lava went viral online, the victim directly responded to the social media post and publicly refuted the claims. Okay, whatever. These videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did. What? Okay. I mean, from what I've seen, I don't know. Are they just saying that obviously the evidence was there must have been enough evidence for this to obviously get to where it's got. Okay, so that statement was written by the supposed or alleged victim, saying that they're massive lies and twisting the truth. The worrying bit about this, right? And look, you see here it says, even the victim said that it was just a few edgy jokes. I mean, that is just abhorrent. It's sickening, right? I mean, I think the shocking part about this, right, is so the questions that need to be asked. Number one, did Mr. Beast know that this was happening? Could he have known? Could he have not known? Well, we're never going to really know, are we? Unless there's like any messages that come out to prove that it was known. Number two, if it was known, why did you not get rid of them? If you did then find out, why did you do this PR crap and not just like, you know, kind of get rid of Ava without this PR nonsense? Just come out and speak in plain English and just say, I've got rid of them because I've just found out about this. You know, it's very simple. Why do you have to write this nonsense? And then third, when Ava makes an apology, why do you have to make an apology that's an half-assed piece of nonsense where you're not even actually apologizing to anyone? You're just saying, sorry if I hurt you. If I did, I mean, I don't know if I did, but if I did, I'm sorry. It's not an apology, you know. And then fourth, you know, the victims come out and they're saying it's edgy. What a load of nonsense. How can saying what, I'm not going to repeat what was said, right? I mean, I'll scroll up and see if we can find what, look, this is what they said in text message. How is this edgy? What a load of nonsense, right? So many questions unanswered by Mr. Beast. And I think maybe this is what the problem is. People think maybe Mr. Beast is not being as honest, or the people around him are not being as honest as they should be. Chris or Ava, or however we want to refer to them, this person has made an apology that is half-assed and seems like they don't care. Mr. Beast has made a so-called apology or statement that is half-assed and PR nonsense. So maybe this is why people are becoming frustrated. Firstly, there are all these questions about whether he knew about what Ava did. Secondly, why have you managed it in such a terrible way, Mr. Beast? Thirdly, I suppose then it comes on to these problems about faking videos, etc., which I want to end on and have a look in a second. But maybe this just comes down to people thinking that he's being dishonest. So take this in mind about being dishonest, managing situations badly, having someone on your team who you potentially know is abhorrent and you're doing nothing about it until only when people get angry. This maybe is where people are stemming their anger from. Now, take all this into consideration. We now need to look at, I suppose, all things considered, the least of the bunch of accusations. Of course, we've gone through now him being accused of treating his employees badly. We've gone through the Ava Tyson situation. And now we want to go through, as I said, the least of the worst problems, which is the faking videos situation. So let's see. I mean, we tried to do YouTube videos before and it didn't work. So why don't we just try and search for some articles about Mr. Beast faking videos and see what comes up. Mm, uh, I mean, all right, TikTok fake Mr. Beast. Let's have a look at this. Okay. Okay. You know what? I don't know what that was. Um. Okay. You know what? It probably is best for us to. Okay. Full drama exchange. 5 minutes. Sure. Just gonna talk about faking videos. But as I said, I think it's the dramatization of his videos that maybe people are now annoyed about because they're basically saying, you know, that he is not being honest. This is not going well, is it? The ending of this. Mr. Beast, you know what? Go on Google. Mr. Beast accused of faking videos. He's been accused of faking videos and rigging results. Okay, well, okay. Again, I'm taking this on the face of it that I haven't like done a crazy amount, if any, kind of investigation. So that's the whole point of this video, right? So in terms of like the faking video side of it, if he's rigging results, again, I don't know the context of it. Rigging results and portraying it as not a rig, that's a problem. Rigging results for entertainment reasons, like I don't know, someone's having a race or someone's on an island and they get there in 2 seconds to go. Some might argue, okay, I'm trying to be what's known as devil's advocate here. I'm not saying it's my opinion. I'm just saying this is what some people might think. Some people would say, okay, well, you're misleading your audience because, you know, you're making it out as if people are, as if the video is a certain way. People are winning money, for example, and they're not, or blah, 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 or people, some people are basically going to say that you're misleading your audience because you're making it out to be something that it's not. But other people might say, of course, again, I don't know the context, but some people might say that this is for entertainment. We don't know yet. We don't know the context, so let's wait and find out. He's been accused of giving rewards and prizes to his friends and family rather than real random subscribers. This actually is illegal, especially when if people like in his videos are taking part and thinking that they've got a chance of winning, and then it turns out that actually he's just giving it to his family or whatever. Having fake contestants in videos. Again, we don't know the context. Using CGI in a dishonest and misleading way. Of all the things that he's been accused of course, these are, how do I say it? These are obviously all still very terrible. But given that the other extreme things of, you know, misleading his employees and mismanaging the Avis Tyson situation, and all of them problems and threatening people with legal action, this of course the least of the worst, I suppose. But it's still bad. But the point I'm trying to make is if you're using CGI, just like I don't know, show explosions or something. I mean, okay, sure. I think people are trying to like cherry pick now. Using giveaways targeted at children, which in reality are illegal lotteries. Clearly, this is horrific. Um, Using giveaways targeted at children, which in reality are illegal lotteries. Okay, I saw a TikTok about this, and it's probably best for us not to watch more videos because this video is going to go on forever, right? But I saw something um about the fact that like he was saying that people could like order some things from his store, or they could, I don't know, buy some things, buy some merch on the go during his live streams, and if they do it they might win an iPhone, they might win some gift or something. And it turns out that he was like hardly ever giving these gifts away, so he's kind of like making people believe that if they people might argue that they wouldn't have bought things if they didn't have a chance of winning, they wouldn't have bought it in the first place. So maybe this is where the fraud thing is coming to it. I can assume that's probably what people are saying. Unregulated and presented as sweepstakes. Yes, well, that is also pretty bad. Remember what we said earlier. Consideration that Mr. Beast now has to act like an employer, right? So I think this is what people are saying is he's now acting like an employer. He's creating this like Mr. Beast style, Amazon, Netflix, whatever series. He's trying to show Mr. Beast as a kind of enterprise now, not as just him as a YouTuber. So he's got to abide by, rules and regulations of how basically businesses treat their employees. So if you're treating them disrespectfully or you're not supplying them with things that they need for their welfare, like insulin, things like this, you're allowing people to do things that are disgraceful. You're misleading your customers, I suppose, which in this case is going to be the people buying his items. Like he says here, abusing the trust of his young audience to turn a profit, making it so difficult to enter for free of the feasible giveaway that it ends up being effectively gambling for children, and everything else, including stuff in his past and potentially and most likely knowing what was going on and doing nothing. I think this would be a good conclusion to this video. We don't want to go into too much detail. Maybe I wake up in a few days and this video has, like 100k views and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll make a part 2. We can actually go into more depth. I don't want this video to be forever. The point here, and it goes back to, as I said, is Mr. Beast is trying to act like an enterprise. That is it, right? He's acting like a business, but he's not. He's acting like a business, but he's not regulating as one. Does that make sense? He is misleading people, which obviously businesses shouldn't. He's mistreating his employees, which of course businesses shouldn't. Everything that he's doing, he's basically doing it in a way which some people might think is to be misleading. I mean, in my opinion, I think that what he has done is misleading on the basis, of course, that, as I said, he's pretending to be a business, but he's not actually operating as one. And that is why people are angry at Mr. Beast. Now, if you like this video, let me know, and I'll make a second episode. This has been completely, off the cuff. I just thought I would get up on my PC and, make a series like this because I thought it was cool. It's probably completely failed. I'm going to have to make another one, and another one, another one, and it'll get better and better, hopefully. But it's quite interesting, actually, just kind of, having a look and researching. I don't want to make 2-hour, 3-hour videos, but it's quite cool just having a look at these articles and going through them and talking about them. It's definitely a different way of making a video than just making everything look too scripted. So if you did enjoy, let me know. And yeah, I will make more videos on this, on random things. And I'll make a part 2 as well, as I said. But thanks for watching. That's my opinion on the Mr. Beast situation. Over and out till next time. See ya.